So hello everyone, this is Hadrian Stiff. I'm talking to you from Bristol in England. Really looking forward to visiting you all at the end of this week in Ottawa for the camps. I've got a few questions from some of you that you've sent over via your cool YouTube video. The first question was from Emily, and the question was, how often do I have to play to be a pro? Well, Emily, you have to play a lot. I'll find out a little bit more about how much squash you've played so far when I come to Ottawa, but I would say play as much as you can from a young age. As you get older, you will need to play a bit more probably as you get into your late teens and you're looking to focus on your squash. Maybe if you're going to be pro, probably from sort of 15, 16 onwards, you need to be really focusing on squash completely. My advice would be before that to also do lots of other sports, have lots of other interests outside, and to really give your body the ability to develop lots of different skills, not just in squash. But you'll figure it out, and we can talk about it when I get over there as well. Okay, so the next question was from Arnie, I think. It was quite difficult to make out on the video. And Arnie said, what's your highest ranking in the PSA? I got to number 52 in the world, was my highest ranking. And that's that. I won't give you any more detail on that one. Few regrets, but that's life. Okay, next question was from Philip. And he said, what stopped you from getting to the top of PSA? And how did I overcome it? What stopped me getting to PSA and how did I overcome it? I think there's a few things. The first thing is just getting good enough. So I played professionally for at least, probably 6-8 years before I joined PSA, to a point where I felt that I was good enough to make it worthwhile to travel and invest the money in trying to win events and travel the world. So I think the first thing that stops it from being possible maybe is just getting good enough, but the biggest problem probably is just the finances, sadly, with squash. So I also had to get to a high enough standard where I felt like I could potentially get a little bit of money back when I went to the tournaments, and also the leagues that I played in the UK and Europe. As I got better, I was able to earn a bit more money from those leagues. Excuse me, and they helped me to fund those trips around the world, which are not cheap. Okay, so the last question was from Thomas. This is a good question. Thomas said, do I play to my strengths or do I play a different game to mess with my opponent? This is a good question because I think the answer is both, actually. There will be times when the best thing to do is to just play to your strengths. And if you feel that your strengths will be the best ways to combat the type of opponent you have, then that can work very well. I think if you're playing someone that knows you very well and they kind of know what your strengths are, then suddenly changing that to a different game could be quite disruptive to them, especially if they already have a game plan against you and they know how you play. Then if you suddenly play a different style, that can be very disruptive. So I know, Mohammed is a big one for changing the tactics kind of cleverly to almost put his opponent off. He will often play to the strongest parts of that player. So he will choose where they are at their best and he'll take them on there, as if to say, I'll beat you at your best, and then what do you have? So that's kind of quite a nice example of messing with your opponent by doing what maybe they don't expect. Okay, I hope those answers are useful to you guys. And I look forward to seeing you at the end of this week. Very excited.